There are 3 traffic sign systems in use around the world: U.S., European, and Latin American. The information in this program is based on the U.S. Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, the European Road Traffic Rules from the 1968 Geneva Convention, and the Inter-American Manual of Traffic Control. The systems are similar in many ways and different in others. Similarities in colors, shapes, and symbols help drivers understand sign messages no matter where they drive. This program will first cover the types and purposes of the signs that are common to all 3 systems. Then it will review the basic design elements for all sign systems. In each system, there are 3 kinds of signs: regulatory, warning, and guidance. The European system calls guidance signs informative. Regulatory signs impose legal restrictions. Highway authorities place these signs to inform drivers of laws or regulations. Each sign system has similar background and border colors. The major difference is that regulatory signs in the U.S. system are rectangular as compared to the round shape for European and Latin American regulatory signs. In the European system, regulatory signs inform users of special obligations, restrictions, or prohibitions. Latin American regulatory signs are similar to the European system. All 3 sign systems have specific regulatory categories, such as intersection control, speed limits, turning movement control, truck restrictions, pedestrian control, exclusions and prohibitions, parking control and limits, and regulations for maintenance and construction. Let's look at each category more closely. There are 2 kinds of intersection control signs. The octagonal stop sign is put up where traffic is required to stop. Generally, the standard size is 76 by 76 centimeters. This sign may also have a supplementary plate mounted below the main sign. At an intersection where it is usually not necessary to stop, the systems provide a yield, or in the European system, a give way sign. This sign is triangular and usually 91 centimeters on each side. Sight distance and approach speeds at the intersecting roadways determine whether or not to use a yield sign rather than a stop sign. Speed limit signs display the limit established by law. Generally, the standard size is 61 by 76 centimeters. The limit is based on an engineering and traffic study. Limits on the signs are in multiples of 5 kilometers per hour. In addition to signs for passenger cars, there are special speed limit signs for buses and trucks. In rural areas, reduced speed ahead signs tell drivers to slow in areas where advanced warning is necessary. This sign is always followed by the speed limit sign erected at the beginning of the speed zone. Finally, there are school speed limit signs. These signs indicate a speed limit for a school area established by law. These signs vary quite a bit in their messages. Generally, there are three kinds of turn prohibition signs: no left, no right, and no U-turns. Turn prohibition signs indicate turns that are prohibited or restricted at a particular intersection. The standard size is 61 by 61 centimeters. There is also a variety of these signs. One-way signs indicate a street where traffic may travel in one direction only. There are generally two kinds of these signs. Do not enter signs prohibit traffic from entering a restricted road section. It is usually a conspicuously placed 76 by 76 centimeter sign. Major streets and freeways may have a larger one. Trucks have unique operating and safety problems, so they have their own specific regulations and signs. They may have to do with weight, weigh stations, hazardous cargo, special routes, and more. Pedestrians also present unique problems. Signs for them include general prohibition, use of bicycles, hitchhiking, and use of crosswalks. Local authorities may choose to exclude trucks and commercial vehicles, pedestrians, and bicycles from particular streets. These signs are called exclusion signs. Because there is such a variety, there are several standard sizes. Parking control and limits involve a wide variety of signs. Generally, they conform to a standard of shape, color, location, and use. From top to bottom, they cover restriction or prohibition, time of day, if applicable, and days of the week, if applicable. In addition, they have a single or double-headed arrow pointing in the direction the regulation is in effect. Freeways have special emergency parking signs. There are also special parking and loading restriction signs for school areas. Regulations for maintenance and construction areas require their own set of signs. Warning signs alert drivers to hazardous conditions. They generally call for drivers to slow down or make a safety-related maneuver. There is a tendency for color and shape standardization between the U.S. and Latin American systems, as seen by the predominance of yellow diamonds. However, in the European system, warning signs are triangular in shape. Warning signs are used on narrow roadways and bridges, in school areas, at railroad crossings, at crossings and entrances to streets, highways, and freeways, at intersection areas, for bumps and dips, at low clearances, for no passing zones, at playgrounds, in areas where there is slippery pavement, for speed reduction advisories, and where there is road construction and maintenance. The third type of sign is called a guide sign in U.S. and Latin American systems. The European system calls it an informative sign. Its purpose is to provide simple, specific information to help drivers reach their destinations. Guide signs in all three systems tend to be large. The European system has unique map signs. These large graphic signs show the relative orientation of intersecting routes. Typical guide signs in all systems include route markings, destination signs with cities, towns, and villages on them, street and highway name signs, parking area signs, information signs, general services signs, specific services, and park and recreation signs. The meanings of colors and shapes of signs in all three systems are essentially the same. Let's look at the scheme they use. Here's a brief listing of the background colors and their meanings. Red means stop or prohibition. In the European system, red borders are used to make warning and regulatory signs stand out. In the Latin American system, the red border means only regulatory. Green signs provide directional guidance in both the U.S. and European systems. Green on a guide sign means a road is open in the Latin American system. Yellow signs in the U.S. and Latin American systems mean a general warning. Blue indicates motorist services. Black on white is for regulatory signs such as one-way, keep right, and speed limit. Orange is used in construction and maintenance work zones. And brown is used only in the U.S. for recreational and cultural facility signs. There are a series of standard shapes that are common to all three systems as well. The diamond is used for a majority of warning signs in the U.S. and Latin American systems. In the European system, it means a priority road. The rectangle has a couple of meanings. In the U.S., with the longer dimension vertical, it is used for a majority of regulatory and some warning signs. The European system uses this shape for informative signs that tell about services. The Latin American system uses the shape for guide signs telling of services. With the longer dimension horizontal, the U.S. and Latin American systems use the rectangle for a majority of guide signs and some warning signs. However, the European system uses this shape for informative signs. A pennant shape with the longer part horizontal is used only in the U.S. for no passing zone warning signs. A pentagon with a point up is also used only in the U.S. for school and school crossing signs. The octagon is the familiar and unique shape for stop signs. Equilateral triangles with one point down mean a yield sign in all three systems. With the point up, this shape is used by the European system for warning signs. The round shape is used in the U.S. for railroad warning signs and for civil defense evacuation route signing. The same shape is used for regulatory signs in both the European and Latin American systems. The shield is used several ways. For U.S. route markers with black numbers on a white background, for some state route markers with black arrows or numbers on white backgrounds, for interstate markers with white letters and numbers on a red and blue background. In the Latin American system, the shield is used for guidance also. The square is used by the European system for informative signs. Finally, the crossbuck is used by all three systems for railroad crossings. Now, let's look at some differences and special considerations concerning each system. In terms of general appearance, in the U.S. system, regulatory signs are typically rectangular, with the longer dimension being the vertical one. The standard color scheme is a black legend on a white background. A red circle with a diagonal slash along with a black diagram means a prohibited maneuver. Red is used as a predominant color for stop, yield, do not enter, and wrong way signs. In addition, unique shapes and color schemes increase target value for regulatory signs. Use of the color red helps to convey the movement prohibition message to the driver. Warning signs are typically diamond-shaped. Permanent warning signs have a black legend on a yellow background. Construction and maintenance warning signs are a special series with the black legend on an orange background. The orange color means the condition ahead is temporary, and there are additional potential hazards at the work site. These signs are usually used to warn of highway construction, maintenance, and utility operations. However, orange color warning signs also cover other work activities within the right-of-way, such as survey crews and temporary way stations. Guide signs vary in shape according to purpose. They include signs such as route marker shields and rectangular information signs. The background color on guide signs varies also. In the European system, in general, regulatory signs, with the exception of stop and give way signs, are circular. Limited parking signs are square with a circular symbol. Priority or restrictive signs are white with red borders, and mandatory signs have a blue background. Warning signs are usually triangular with a red border, white background, and a symbol warning the driver of a danger. Informative signs are square, rectangular, or pointed. In this system, colors are less specific, but 5 have uniform meaning. Driving situations unique to European countries produce unique regulatory sign requirements, such as travel direction of roundabouts. Although certain driving situations are not unique to Europe, certain of the signs are different from their counterparts in the other systems. For example, the Pass This Side sign. Blue means services such as lodging, food, gas, parks, and recreation. By contrast to the U.S. system, a wider range of symbols is evident in the European system. Although advising drivers of turning restrictions is a regulatory sign function in the U.S. system, the European system advises of lane preselection using an informative sign. Lastly, let's look at the Latin American system. In general, regulatory signs, again with the exception of stop and give way signs, are circular. Black symbols or diagrams on a white background with a red border convey the intended regulation. Warning signs are diamond-shaped. They have a black symbol or diagram on a yellow background. An exception to the diamond shape is the crossbuck shape at railroad crossings. Guide signs vary in shape and color according to purpose. Black on white route shield signs designate Pan America and Inter-America highways. Black and white direction, distance, place, flow direction, and advanced guide signs are rectangular in shape. Open or closed roads are designated by red, green, or white wording on a black background. One regulatory sign, which is unique to the Latin American system, prohibits the use of donkey-drawn carts on designated roadways. In this system, most warning signs are diamond-shaped. They have a black symbol or diagram on a yellow background. Significant similarity exists between these warning signs and their U.S. system counterparts. An example of the Latin American system's unique application of guide signs is the service mechanic symbol sign. New, modern technology is improving on traditional signs every day. Diamond-back sign face sheeting holds reflectivity better and longer, providing a brighter image. Changeable message signs, operated from central locations, can provide real-time data for drivers. There are even activated warning signs that detect vehicle speed. Large diagrammatic signs make travel in unfamiliar areas easier. In this presentation, we have covered many examples of signs that are common to all three worldwide sign systems: U.S., European, and Latin American. We have seen patterns of uniformity as well as differences among the three systems which affect driver recognition of signs around the world. Sign functions common to the three systems are regulatory, warning, and guide. Regulatory signs inform drivers of laws which regulate driving. Typical of these are speed limits, turning movement regulation, and parking restrictions. Warning signs alert drivers to hazards such as narrow roadways, railroad grade crossings, and slippery pavements. Guide signs provide directional information such as destination names, route markings, street and highway names, parking, and general services. Specific elements are applied to the design of traffic signs to assist with driver understanding of the intended message. The design elements of each system are color and shape. Common colors and associated meanings are red, stop, yield, movement prohibition; green, directional guidance; yellow, general warning; blue, motorists' services; black on white, regulation; orange, construction zone; and brown, recreational or cultural facility. Common shapes for all systems are diamond, rectangle, pentagon, pennant, octagon, equilateral triangle, circular, and shield. General sign features unique to the European system are circular-shaped, regulatory signs with white backgrounds and red borders, and triangular warning signs, each showing symbols to illustrate a hazard. In addition, the European system uses large graphic map guide signs. The Latin American system includes features similar to both the U.S. and European systems. For example, circular-shaped, regulatory signs with white backgrounds and red borders, and diamond-shaped yellow warning signs. For more information on these devices, Check the manual on uniform traffic control devices or other similar documents. For more information on other IRF videotapes, call the International Road Federation at the numbers on your screen.